I'm originally from Sierra Leone, which is in West Africa. I was an orphan when I was younger. I really wanted to go back to Africa and just, work there.
My family is so important to me, and I want to be able to give to children who don't have that family structure and who I could really give my time to as a big brother for even just a day, even just half a day.
So I actually have lived in Ghana for 2 years of my life. I served a mission for my church. When I came back to Stanford for my second year, I was really looking for opportunities to return.
Ghana was nothing like what I expected. It was just such a culturally rich country, I guess would be the way I describe it. You go by any market, you'd hear just beautiful, beautiful music.
When you're in a car, you could just get food, and there are people on the street with food trays on their heads.
There's also incredibly fresh fruit and beautiful sights to see.
It was so also variable between different places we went. So when we were in Accra, the capital, it would be crowded, people packed together, and then you would go out, we would take the buses to our next city or go out into the country to go to an orphanage, and it would just be totally lush.
I think what really makes Ghana special is its people and how hospitable and friendly and warm they are to people of every kind of background.
We lived right outside a yam market, and I ended up befriending one of the women who was selling her yams there. There's always that sense of friendliness.
The best part of the whole experience was just talking to the kids. The kids are in these really sometimes terrible conditions, but you could tell that the kids had so much hope. You really saw that the kids that you were profiling were just like you when you were that age.
The highlights were just generally mostly playing soccer with the kids. They would kind of help teach me the language while we were playing. They would pull me in different directions.
The Frisbee is kind of our way of getting back at them because they had no idea what a Frisbee was at some time. So it's really fun to kind of be like, okay, you kicked my butt in soccer, I can get back at you with Frisbee now. Other times we would be looking at documents of the children, kind of just like whatever they had in terms of birth certificates, their histories before they came to the particular children's home.
I think the highlight was when we finally went to our first orphanage, the first home that we went to. The kids were better than I could have imagined.
Just seeing them really just flash a smile instantly and say, hey, let's go play. It was really heartening to see that it didn't matter who I was. It didn't matter that I was a stranger.
We can't even understand what they've been through, yet they still have smiles on their face. They're still very loving and friendly and just great young little people.
And there was one orphanage, most of the kids were pretty quiet. I just ended up talking to one of these kids who was around, I think 13 years old. He legitimately wanted to be the president of Ghana someday. And that was his goal, and that was everything he was going to work towards. So he had developed these opinions and was creating a network of people and figuring out what these past presidents had done to get there, and was just an unbelievable kid.
One boy came up and started talking to me about Aristotle and the classification of science, and I was pretty struck by that. So he's like, so what is it like, living where you are? What's your home like? Where's China? It was uplifting to see somebody who's that invigorated about learning.
By the time it came time for me to leave, I was actually really bummed about it. I found that I had been loving my work.